quiet hours and the silent vessels pass. On my left the city rests with heavy sleepy eyes. On my right the water mirrors all the starry skies. The street lamps cast a golden glow upon the empty street, where the edge of human limits and the endless ocean meet. A perfect equilibrium between the wild and tame. A peaceful kind of magic that I do not need to name. No rushing through the avenues, no traffic on the drive. Just the gentle realization that the shoreline is alive. The salty breeze comes rushing through the alleys and the squares, carrying away the weight of all the heavy urban cares. A whisper from the deep beyond the blinking harbor light, painting silver strokes across the canvas of the night.
Standing on the borderline of concrete and the tide, with the universe completely open, luminous and wide. The coastal wind is blowing through the clear and open air, washing out the static and the lingering despair. The fastness of the water brings a quiet to the town, as the heavy funk begins to lay the rhythm down, finding perfect harmony beside the open sea, where the sleepy city and the ocean make a space for me.
I lean against the railing, looking out into the black, knowing that this heavy tide will always wander back. The neon signs are buzzing with the gentle muted hum, a frequency that matches with the beating of the drum. No sirens in the distance, no chaotic human race, just the ancient conversation in the solitary place. The architecture stands as a defender of the shore, but out there in the darkness is an open massive door. A feeling of insignificance that brings a lot of peace, watching all my complicated heavy thoughts release.
We build our walls of iron and we pave the ground with stone, but nature has a melody and rhythm of its own. Tonight they sing together in a beautifully clear duet, a solitary symphony I never will forget. The wind sweeps through the buildings and returns into the deep, a guardian protecting all the dreamers fast asleep.
Walking up the spiral, up into the heavy chill, leaving the sidewalk behind and staying completely still. A concrete island floating right above the frantic lane, wrapped inside a wire fence to kiss the heavy rain. I grip the freezing metal and look down at the display. 1,000 Russian ninjas carrying the night away, but up there in the altitude, the universe is slow. A geographic disconnect from everything below. Random thoughts are bouncing off the inside of my head. Questions about the living, questions for the dead. The vibration of the asphalt travels up into my feet, but I am completely detached from the rhythm of the street. Suspended in a pocket where the gravity is weak, listening to the silence that the busy never speak. Standing on the overpass, caught between the earth and sky, watching all the heavy, complicated moments pass me by. An isolated witness to the massive human race, finding mental quiet in a geographic space. The traffic is a river and the bridge is just a ghost. The absolute detachment is the thing I love the most. Lost inside a labyrinth of random heavy thought, a solitary fugitive that simply can't be caught. I watch the roofs of vehicles shooting through the dark, wondering if any of them ever leave a mark. We all are moving parallel but never really touch, relying on the velocity a little bit too much. The heavy metal grate and rattle softly with the breeze, a sudden wave of clarity that brings me to my knees. I am completely invisible to everyone down there, a solitary phantom breathing in the upper air. Sorting through the memories I shoved upon the shelf, a midnight conversation completely with myself. They say you have to move to keep from falling out of line, but I prefer the stillness of this elevated shrine. A pause button pushed upon the chaos of the grind, a temporary sanctuary for a heavy, restless mind. The city is a massive machine spinning out of control, but this pedestrian bridge is the anchor to my soul. Standing on the overpass, caught between the earth and sky, watching all the heavy, complicated moments pass me by. An isolated witness to the massive human race, finding mental quiet in a geographic space. The traffic is a river and the bridge is just a ghost. The absolute detachment is the thing I love the most. Lost inside a labyrinth of random heavy thought, a solitary fugitive that simply can't be caught. The automatic doors slide open to the freezing air, stepping in a massive hall but nobody is there. The digital displays are glowing with a steady red, showing destinations to a city that is dead. Rows of metal benches waiting in a perfect line, bathed inside the harshness of the artificial shine. At 3 a.m. the transit hub is completely stripped of sound, a concrete mausoleum where the lost and never found. I walk across the waiting room, my shadow stretches long, listening to the silence play a solitary song. By noon this very floor is drowning in the rushing tide, 1,000 heavy suitcases and nowhere left to hide. But now the air is heavy and the universe is still a liminal dimension that the shadows slowly fill.
Trapped inside the glow of the fluorescent terminal light, waiting for a ghost bus in the middle of the night. The empty boarding gates are standing open in the cold, a quiet sanctuary where the time is never sold. No tickets to the future and no schedule to keep, just wandering the station while the population sleeps, embracing all the emptiness where millions
shutters pulled down tight, a vending machine humming as my only source of light. I buy a can of soda just to hear the metal drop, the loudest heavy echo since the transit had to stop. Outside the massive window sits a fleet of heavy steel, sleeping in the parking lot without a turning wheel. The intercom just crackles with a sudden burst of static, an accidental whisper from the desolate and the erratic. I sit down at bay number 4 and close my weary eyes, safe beneath the shelter of the indoor plastic sky.
We spend our lives in motion, always rushing to the next, driven by a schedule or a complicated text. But sitting in this transit lounge when everything is paused, I finally surrender to the peace that it has caused.
A station in between the places I am supposed to go,
letting the nocturnal heavy rhythm continue slow. Trapped inside the glow of the fluorescent terminal light, waiting for a ghost bus in the middle of the night. The empty boarding gates are standing open in the cold, a quiet sanctuary where the time is never sold. No tickets to the future and no schedule to keep, just wandering the station while the population sleeps, embracing all the emptiness where millions used to be, a temporary pocket of lonely liberty.
Floors to go and the elevator is broken down. Just another quiet Tuesday in this heavy sleeping town. The air is thick with dust and the scent of falling rain, walking up the spiral of a gray and narrow vein. Our shoulders brushing softly on the tight and turning bend, a quiet walk home with my closest, oldest friend. The fluorescent light is buzzing on the ceiling of the floor, painting every shadow just a little darker than before. Not a single word is spoken, just the rhythm of our feet, a temporary shelter from the chaos of the street. We pause upon the landing where the painted numbers fade, standing in the corner of the quietness we made. You look at me and suddenly the temperature shifts, and every heavy boundary we built up slowly lifts. A stolen breath colliding in the middle of the gray, taking all the complicated heavy words away. Trapped inside a stairwell with the concrete and the cold,
A sudden rush of magic that the architecture holds.
echoes of the city cannot reach us in the space, just a fleeting this was just a fraction of a second in the dark, but strong enough to leave a permanent and glowing mark. You pull away and offer me a shy and sudden smile, making all the endless heavy climbing feel worthwhile. We turn and keep on walking up the remaining flight of stairs, as if the universe had never caught us unaware. But the atmosphere is heavy and the gravity is gone, riding on a secret that will carry to the dawn. The grayness of the building suddenly looks bright and new, completely recolored by a single touch of you.
It wasn't planned or promised, it was spontaneous and pure, a beautiful collision that I could not quite ignore. Sometimes the most romantic things are hidden in the plain, a blooming fragile flower in the middle of the rain. We reach the upper level and we finally step outside, but keeping what just happened locked up safely deep inside. A stolen breath colliding in the middle of the gray, taking all the complicated heavy words away. Trapped inside a stairwell with the concrete and the cold, a sudden rush of magic that the architecture holds. Of the city cannot reach us in the space, just a fleeting intersection and a beautiful embrace, a temporary secret hidden right behind the door, leaving me completely changed, forever wanting more. Forever wanting more.
Walking down the pavement wrapped inside a digital cloud, the heavy bass was pumping, isolating out the crowd. Lost inside the rhythm of a synthetic escape, navigating through the shadows of the urban landscape. And suddenly a warning chime disrupts the heavy flow, two little beeps that tell me that the battery is low. Before I even reach my hand to pull the ear pads free, the track completely dies and cuts the tether holding me. A sudden rush of quiet crashing down upon my head, leaving me completely stranded where the music bled. I take the useless plastic off and let it hang around, expecting to be swallowed by an ugly chaotic sound. But the universe is breathing in a rhythm of its own, a massive acoustic space where I am walking all alone.
The city is a symphony I never really heard, speaking in a language that doesn't need a single word. The humming of the traffic and the wind against the trees, replacing all my lo-fi tracks with midnight melodies. The silence is not empty, it is heavy and profound, finding perfect harmony, walking on the solid ground. No digital distraction to keep my mind asleep, just the acoustic reality and the promises I keep. The promises I keep.
A distant siren wails and fades into the purple sky. A stray dog knocks a bottle as it quickly scampers by. My footsteps on the concrete lay a brand new steady beat, a solitary percussion echoing along the street. I used to block the world out, afraid of what it had to say, but this unplugged navigation is washing that away. The buzzing of the street lamp is a synthesizer pad, the most immersive audio experience I ever had. Every rustling leaf becomes a texture in the dark, leaving an organic and a beautiful new mark.
We build these little bubbles just to safely hide inside, afraid to face the vastness of a world so dark. rhythm that is healing up my soul. I keep.
Fast asleep, I take the elevator down where the shadows gather deep. Wandering the ground floor with absolutely nowhere left to be. Passing by the lobby and the locked amenities. I stop in front of the master recreation hall, looking through the smudges on the heavy glass wall. The chairs are stacked up high like towers in the dark. The tables pushed away, leaving not a single mark. No music playing loud, no neighbors pouring drinks, just a solitary wanderer standing at the brink. A single silver balloon deflating on the floor, a leftover memory from the Saturday before. The contrast is a weight pressing heavily on my chest. The room designed for chaos, finally getting this rest.
Standing in the ballroom in the middle of the week, where the shadows stretch long and the architecture speaks. A social vacuum hiding right behind the heavy door, dancing with the silence on a polished marble floor. The party is a phantom floating in the chilly air, finding deep tranquility in the empty space we share. No forced conversations, no pretending to be fine, just a lonely sanctuary and a quiet state of mind.
Inside the hall and let the door swing shut. The sudden isolation cuts a brand new mental rut. I whisper out a single word just to hear the audio bounce, watching how the emptiness magnifies every ounce. The commercial refrigerator humming quietly in the back, a steady metronome keeping my reality on track. The disco ball is dead, hanging heavy from the roof, a glittering reminder and a solid shining proof that energy is temporary, burning out so fast. But this liminal dimension is the only thing that lasts.
A space stripped of its purpose feels like stepping out of time, a parallel dimension where the reason doesn't rhyme. It patiently waits for the weekend to fulfill its destiny. But tonight this hollow room belongs entirely to me. The reflections on the glass paint a picture of a ghost, enjoying this deserted isolation.
downpour finally surrenders to a gentle midnight mist, leaving the entire avenue beautifully kissed by the water gathering in the uneven concrete cracks, washing away the heavy burden of the daily tracks. I pull my collar up against the sudden autumn chill, walking through a metropolis that is completely still. The pharmacy cross is flashing in a vivid, vibrant green, bleeding out into the darkest gutters I have ever seen. Every single glowing sign hanging on the avenue spills a drop, a digit of blood turning red and blue. I look down at the sidewalk instead of looking at the sky, watching the subterranean universe catching my eye. The world is perfectly inverted underneath my feet, a liquid paint resting on the quiet empty street. Stepping through the shattered glass of an artificial dream, where the purple and the yellow flow into a stream. The neon light is drowning in the puddles on the ground, creating silent masterpieces without a single sound. A melancholy beauty that the daylight always hides, waiting for the quiet hours when the rushing city dies, tracing all the colors melting on the soaking stone, finding deep comfort in the feeling of walking alone. A solitary taxi passes cruising down the lane, its tires cutting sharply through the layers of the rain. The sudden splash disrupts the glowing surface of the pool, distorting all the heavy colors, beautiful and cool. The crimson from the diner sun fractures into a blur, a temporary chaos where the perfect reflections were, but gravity pulls the ripples back into a steady line, rebuilding the illusion by a natural design. I stand beside the curb and watch the water settle down, the only witness to the silent magic in the town. We always look above us for the answers in the stars, but tonight the magic gathers right beneath the parked cars. The synthetic glow of the city blending with the earth, giving us a bed at midnight, a sudden massive worth. It is just a little water mixing with the neon spark, but it is enough to guide a weary traveler through the dark. Stepping through the shattered glass of an artificial dream, where the purple and the yellow flow into a stream. The neon light is drowning in the puddles on the ground, creating silent masterpieces without a single sound. A melancholy beauty that the daylight always hides, waiting for the quiet hours when the rushing city dies, tracing all the colors melting on the soaking stone, finding deep comfort in the feeling of walking alone. Walking through the ruins of a dead and empty mall, fading neon posters peeling slowly off the wall. The metal gates are rusted, pulled halfway to the floor, but a flicker catches my eye behind the arcade door. I slip beneath the iron, breathing in the heavy must, a graveyard of machines completely buried in the dust, but shining in the corner through the atmospheric gloom. A single cathode ray is illuminating up the room. room, the cabinet is battered, the joystick worn and old, a silent little monument out in the bitter cold. I walk across the carpet with its faded geometric shapes, trapped inside a pocket where the flow of time escapes. The scan lines are vibrating with a pale and glowing blue, waiting for a challenger that simply never grew. A flashing high score resting on a solitary screen, the final fading heartbeat of a digital machine. Three initials glowing at the very top of the list, a phantom of the arcade striking from the heavy mist. No tokens in my pocket, no quarters left to play, just staring at the digits while the colors wash away. A teenage king or queen who conquered everything inside, immortalized forever in the static of the night. Plastic glass, watching how the heavy and the quiet moments pass. The score is 999, a flawless perfect run achieved, a masterclass of timing that just had to be believed. I wonder where they are today, the holder of the crown. Do they remember ruling this forgotten little town? Or did they leave the victory behind them as they grew, trading pixel battles for a world they never knew? The motherboard is humming, holding on to the decree, a time capsule of glory for nobody else to see. We leave our little marks upon the places we have been, a carving on a tree trunk or a record on a screen, hoping that tomorrow someone notices the trace and feels the human presence in an isolated space. The power grid is broken, the entire block is dead, but this arcade is running on a memory instead. A beautiful defiance of the heavy rotten rust, a digital survivor standing proudly in the dust. A flashing high score resting on a solitary screen, the final fading heartbeat of a digital machine. Three initials glowing at the very top of the list, the phantom of the arcade striking from the heavy mist. No tokens in my pocket, no quarters left to play, just staring at the digits while the colors wash away. A teenage king or queen who conquered everything inside, immortalized forever in the static of the night. In the static of the night. In the static of the night. Slide shut with a heavy mechanical sigh, underneath the amber of a cloudy midnight sky. I pay the fare and walk down the narrow aisle, escaping the chaos of the city for a while. The engine vibrates through the empty plastic seat, gliding effortlessly above the wet and silent street. I thought I was completely alone in this metal shell, riding through the shadows where the weary spirits dwell. But a sudden movement catches in my peripheral sight, someone else is braving the exact same lonely night. 3 rows ahead, bathed in the fluorescent pale, another quiet traveler on this nocturnal trail. You shift your weight and turn your weary head, and suddenly the isolation hangs by a single thread. A quiet collision on the final midnight ride, nowhere to look and absolutely nowhere to hide. Our eyes meet in the mirror of the window pane, a silent conversation It's moving at a steady, heavy pace, trapped together inside this moving liminal space. Lights flicker, passing rapidly across your face, illuminating the mystery of this desolate place. You quickly look away, pretending to check your phone, but the heavy air proves we are no longer alone. A sudden turn makes the massive chassis sway. Our gaze locks once again, and I refuse to look away. The physical distance between us feels incredibly small, a solid magnetic pull answering a hidden call. You offer up a tiny, almost imperceptible smile, making me wish this transit stretched for another mile. Soon enough somebody has to reach and press the bell, breaking the fragile magic of this unspoken spell. The hydraulic doors will open and swallow one of us up, leaving the other passenger holding an empty cup. But right now the destination does not mean a thing. I just wanna sit back and listen to the silence sing. Two parallel journeys crossing for a single night, burning in the dark, incredibly and beautifully bright. Collision on the final midnight ride. Nowhere to look and absolutely nowhere to hide. Our eyes meet in the mirror of the window pane, a silent conversation cutting through the gentle rain. No introduction spoken, no promises are made, just an electric tension in the urban shade. A fleeting romance moving at a steady, heavy pace, trapped together inside this moving liminal space. Pushing off the driveway concrete, leaving the yard behind, dropping all the heavy homework, clearing out my mind. The rubber hits the blacktop with a satisfying hum, right into the rhythm of a distant summer drum. The sky is bleeding orange, a heavy golden haze, washing out the borders of a complicated maze. No hands upon the handlebars, leaning with the breeze, gliding past the quiet houses and the willow trees. A frame of heavy metal and a pair of spinning wheels, the only kind of therapy a restless spirit feels. The shadows stretch like giants walking gently by my side. There is no destination on this solitary ride, just chasing down the daylight before the colors fade, living in the pocket of the freedom that we made. Surfing on the asphalt underneath the burning sun, feeling like my teenage years have only just begun. The wind is rushing past me, blowing all the static clear. Nothing but the open road and absolutely nothing to fear. A rebel on the BMX, flying down the empty street, with the heavy chill phonk rhythm guiding my feet. No curfew in my pocket, no anchor on my soul, just the perfect equilibrium taking full control.
Turning off the dance floor, underneath the burning sun. Turning off the dance floor, underneath the burning sun. Turning off the dance floor, underneath the burning sun. Underneath the.
I stand up neighborhood is quiet and the heavy air is still. Scraped knees and faded sneakers gripping on the steel. A beautiful reminder of how being young should feel. I hop the concrete sidewalk and grind the metal peg. A tiny spark of magic flying right beneath my leg. The street lamps haven't flickered, the night is still at bay. I wanna freeze the motion of this perfect fading day. Every rotation pushes the anxiety away. A master of the avenue with nothing left to say.
The sun finally dips below the distant power lines. The purple dusk approaches and the heavy star shines. I hear a distant mother calling out her name for dinner. But out here on the pavement I am a silent winner. A temporary king without a castle or a crown. Just a kid completely lost inside a sleepy town. Surfing on the asphalt underneath the burning sun. Feeling like my teenage years have only just begun. The wind is rushing past me, blowing all the static clear. Nothing but the open road and absolutely nothing to fear.
A rebel on a BMX flying down the empty street, with the heavy chill phonk rhythm guiding my feet. No curfew in my pocket, no anchor on my soul. Just a perfect equilibrium taking full control.
Underneath the burning sun. Underneath the burning sun.
Insomnia pushed me out the door at 2:45, looking for a space where my restless mind could be free. I walked up the concrete and climbed to the heavy overpass, leaning my tired arms against the cold and frosted glass. Down below the city is breathing through a massive vein, pumping steel and rubber through the intermittent rain. Now watch the heavy lane stretching out into the dark, a mechanical river leaving a temporary mark. The white beams rushing forward, the red trails pulling back, a perfectly balanced equation on the tarmac track. The vibration of the bridge travels up into my spine, a steady urban heartbeat perfectly matching mine. Every single passing car holds a different mystery, running from the future or escaping history. Rivers of ruby light flowing endlessly below, watching the hypnotic in the heavy midnight glow. The chaos of the daylight turns into a gentle stream, pulling my consciousness inside a waking dream. I am just a silent watcher on a concrete throne, finding a profound comfort in the great unknown. The endless crimson trails slowly wash the pain away, chasing down the horizon before it turns to day. Where are they all driving in the middle of the night? A graveyard shift, a broken heart, or running from a fight. The speed becomes a blur, a cinematic masterpiece, granting my heavy anxieties a sudden sweet release. The funk rhythm in my head aligns with the engine drone, a beautiful frequency that chills me to the bone. The tail lights bleed together in a continuous glowing line, a massive electric serpent of a brilliant design. No honking horns or anger, just a dedicated pace, finding perfect order in this isolated place. We are just little particles trapped in an endless race, moving at a frantic and a desperate human pace. But standing up above it, the panic turns to art, the glowing circulation of a lonely urban heart. I let the visual rhythm slowly pull me very deep, preparing my heavy mind to finally find some sleep. Rivers of ruby light flowing endlessly below, watching the hypnotic and the heavy midnight glow. The chaos of the daylight turns into a gentle stream, pulling my consciousness inside a waking dream. I am just a silent watcher on a concrete throne, finding a profound comfort in the great unknown. The endless crimson trail slowly wash the pain away, chasing down the horizon before it turns to day. The porches are completely dark, the television's dead. 1,000 heavy dreamers are sleeping in their bed. I walk right down the middle of the empty avenue, the concrete colored silver by a heavy midnight blue. Parked cars are resting in the driveways in a row, the sprinkler system's waiting for the morning light to glow. Not a single window casts a yellow waking square, just a heavy blanket of the solitary air. The manicured lungs are breathing quietly in the night, a perfect still suburban world completely out of sight. I am a solitary ghost wandering the silent block, completely unbothered by the ticking of the clock. The only set of open eyes for miles and miles around, discovering the magic where the heavy peace is found.
Wandering aimlessly beneath the amber street lamplight, the only soul awake inside the heavy silent night. The residential silence is a beautifully profound sound, finding my equilibrium, walking on the empty ground. No destination waiting, no map to guide my feet, just a lonely shadow gliding down the sleeping street. The daytime anxiety completely washes from my brain, leaving just the rhythm of the solitary lane.
Past a wooden fence and hear a very distant bark, a single sign of life out in the overwhelming dark. A gentle breeze is rustling through the heavy oak tree leaves, a quiet kind of magic that a restless mind believes. The houses look like monuments stripped of all their noise, a temporary pause upon the fragile human toys. A stray cat darts across the road and vanishes from view, leaving me alone again to navigate the dew. The neighborhood belongs to me until the early dawn, a massive empty canvas that my thoughts are painted on.
Tomorrow morning all the driveways will be full of rush, but right now I am soaking in the meditative hush. We share these little streets but rarely ever see the grace that completely takes over an abandoned quiet space. I keep my pace, incredibly slow and absolutely calm, holding the suburban midnight safely in my palm. Street lamplight, the only soul awake inside the heavy silent night. The residential silence is a beautifully profound sound, finding my equilibrium, walking on the empty ground. No destination waiting, no map to guide my feet, just a lonely shadow gliding down the sleeping street. The daytime anxiety completely washes from my brain, leaving just the rhythm of the solitary lane. Working on the path, so that's my step, that's how I get a path, so that's inside of something, that's inside of
cross-legged on the faded bedroom floor, waiting for the frequency to open up the door. Fingers hovering above the plastic double keys, hoping that the static doesn't swallow up the breeze. 2 a.m. is heavy but my eyes are open wide, riding on the analog and waiting for the tide. The station ID echoes through the glowing little screen, a teenage sniper hunting for a melodic dream. Then I hear the opening, the heavy starting bass, and press the buttons down to lock the moment into place. The red light is blinking in the middle of the dark, capturing the audio and saving every spark. A pirate of the airwaves on a solitary sea, stealing down the rhythm that was meant to set me free. Magnetic ribbon spinning in the plastic little shell, recording all the secrets that the midnight has to tell. The imperfect audio is a beautiful escape, trapping my emotions in the 90-minute tape. No digital perfection, just the wow and the flutter, holding every syllable, the vocal is utter. A time capsule breathing in the corner of the room, lighting up the heavy and the solitary gloom. The track is hitting beautifully, the levels are aligned. I am leaving all the worries of the daytime far behind. The synthesizer echoes and the melody is deep, a temporary remedy to fight away to sleep. I watch the little spindles pulling tape from left to right, praying that the signal stays incredibly tight. We only get one shot at this, there is no second chance to perfectly document this solitary dance. The bridge is slowly building and the ending is so near. The absolute best section of the song is finally here. But then the volume dips and the magic starts to fade, a sudden interference silence in the sanctuary I made. The heavy realization that the timing wasn't right. A voice is breaking through the perfect rhythm of the night.
Alright listeners, pulling the plug on that one to bring you the top of the hour.
The DJ steps all over the crescendo of the song, talking about the weather like there is nothing going wrong. Shouting out a caller while my favorite solo dies underneath the weight of his promotional replies. I stare at the boombox in a quiet disbelief, a tragedy of timing and a sudden wave of grief. And looking back years later, it is the detail that I love, a sudden imperfection sent directly from above. The voice over the music makes the memory exact, a beautiful collision on my final copy track. Afternoon sun hits the dust dancing in the air. An empty classroom holding secrets in a broken chair. I run my fingers slowly over the uneven wood, where the absolute evidence of my devotion stood. Deep grooves carved by the metal of a ballpoint pen, taking me straight back to being 15 all over again. A piece of cheap furniture acting as a sacred shrine, where I permanently claimed your fantasy is mine. Hidden right beneath the textbook where the teacher couldn't see. A quiet little universe built for you and me. The ink is faded but the indentation still remains, a physical reminder of the heavy teenage pains. When speaking out loud was a terrifying massive leap, so I gave it to the wooden desk to forever keep. Your name is scratched into the surface of the school dashboard, a secret heavy passion that could not be ignored. While the world was learning history, I was writing down my own. Sitting in a crowded room, feeling so completely alone. A tactile confession hidden in the plainest sight, holding all my spoken feelings in the morning light. The chill phonk rhythm matches the beating of my heart, a beautiful testament to a love that couldn't start. I remember staring at the back of your head for hours long, while the teacher droned about the things that we were doing wrong. I channeled all my anxiety right into the plastic tip, pressing down incredibly hard so the letters wouldn't slip. Every single syllable was a heavy calculated move, trapping all my desperation right inside the groove. I covered it with my forearm when anybody walked on by, protecting the illusion from a judgmental prying eye. Years have passed and hundreds of kids have taken their seat, but none of them can hear my heavy silent heartbeat. They probably run their hands across the vandalism now, wondering who loved who and trying to figure out how. A tiny little time capsule surviving through the years, holding on to all the nervous sweat and teenage fears. You never even knew the arc Setting low behind the heavy concrete lines, casting long and faded shadows of an older lost design. A metal skeleton is standing on the terracotta roof, a monument of aluminum, a silent fading proof. I see the geometric shadow stretching on the clay, a black and white reminder of a long forgotten day when invisible magnetic waves were floating in the sky, caught by the metallic arms reaching up so high. No digital perfection, just a static in the air, a ghostly apparition hanging completely bare. The wind is howling softly through the heavy metal spine, searching for a frequency to finally realign, a remnant of the era when the world was slow and gray, before the colored pixels washed the mystery away. The shadow of the antenna is a ghost upon the tile, holding on to analog for just another mile. A silhouette of static in the heavy evening light, trapping all the memories before the fall of night. We used to turn the dial and wait for something to appear, fighting through the snowy screen to make the picture clear. Now it's just a sculpture of a disconnected past, a beautiful illusion that was never meant to last. I remember climbing up here just to twist a heavy pole, trying to restore the magic to a fractured glowing soul, shouting through the window to the living room below, asking if the picture caught a steady solid glow. The heavy CRT was buzzing with the warm electric hum, waiting for the distant fuzzy broadcast to finally come. Now the air is empty of the frequencies we knew, replaced by invisible data that we cannot even view. But the shadow on the rooftop keeps his rigid sharp degree, a guardian of the vintage staring out across the sea. The monochrome aesthetic paints a heavy quiet mood, a solitary anchor where the old technology stood. It catches no more signals from the towers in the dark, believes a geometric and a beautiful dark mark across against the twilight of a disappearing age, a silent piece of poetry on a forgotten page. The shadow of the antenna is hanging heavy in the freezing air. I stop beneath the sodium glow, completely unaware of how much time has passed since I left my empty room. Seeking out a momentary shelter from the gloom, I look down at the pavement where the yellow circle ends, and see the only version of myself that never bends. An elongated silhouette stretched across the stone, a visual reminder that I'm standing here alone. A flat and dark companion disconnected from my mind, a heavy manifestation of the things I left behind. The artificial halo burns directly overhead, illuminating all the words that I have never said. It casts a silent duplicate upon the freezing ground, the quietest companion that a wanderer ever found. Staring at my shadow in the middle of the street, where the harsh electric lighting and the solid concrete meet. An existential mirror painted in a heavy black, showing all the emptiness that I'm trying to track. It stretches out before me like a question in the dark, leaving an invisible and temporary mark. Just a solitary figure trapped inside a pool of light, breathing in the heavy isolation of the night. Lift my arm and watch the phantom duplicate the move, trapped inside this undeniable and heavy midnight groove. It doesn't have a face to show the sorrow or the strain, just a perfect outline soaking in the quiet pain. The city is a vacuum, not a single passing car. I wonder how I ended up wandering so far from everything I used to know, from everywhere I've been, just to stare at the projection of the emptiness within. The funk beat is a heartbeat that is slowing to a crawl, echoing across the silence of the urban sprawl. We are tied together by the physics of the glow, the only piece of evidence that I am here below. When I step out of the circle, it will completely fade away, swallowed by the darkness until the break of day. But for the single moment, in the buzzing of the lamp, I find a strange connection in the cold and in the damp. Solid concrete meat, an existential mirror painted in a heavy black, showing all the emptiness that I'm trying to track. It stretches out before me like a question in the dark, leaving an invisible and temporary mark. Just a solitary figure trapped inside a pool of light, breathing in the heavy isolation of the night. Hidden in the corner of a dusty attic floor, I found a stack of memories behind a wooden door. A heavy cardboard box filled with heroes of the past, trapped inside the plastic that was never meant to last. I pull a single issue from the middle of the pile, looking at the cover art and breaking out a smile. The staples are completely rusted, biting through through the spine. A fragile piece of history that used to all be mine. I gently crack it open and the pages slightly tear, releasing something magical directly in the air. The scent of aging lightning breaking down into the dark, a hint of sweet vanilla and a fading childhood spark. The cheap and heavy pulp mixed with four-color ink, pushing me right to a massive chronological brink. Breathing in the texture of a yellowed comic book, everything comes rushing back with just a single look. The smell of faded paper is a heavy time machine, pulling me right back to everything I used to mean. 10 years old and hiding from the heavy summer rain, reading about the flying gas to medicate the pain. The chill phonk rhythm echoing the turning of the page, a temporary shelter from the adult modern age. Lost inside the panels and the beautiful decay, washing all the heavy weight of growing up away. A little half-tone dots making up the red, remembering the dialogue I memorized in bed. The paper is so brittle now, crumbling at the edge, beholding every promise and every childhood pledge. The universe was simple, just a villain and a fight, and knowing that the morning sun will make it all alright. The aroma is an anchor tying present to the past, proving that the simplest of magic truly lasts. The ink is slowly bleeding through the very fragile sheet, but the solitary rhythm in my chest retains the beat. We bag and board our innocence to keep it from the air, trying to preserve a time when life was always fair. But the oxygen gets in and starts to slowly turn it brown, a beautiful oxidation right inside a sleeping town. I press my face against the spread and take a heavy breath, defeating the reality of growing old and death. Summer rain, reading about the flying gas to medicate the pain. The chill phonk rhythm echoing the turning of the page, a temporary shelter from the adult modern age. Lost inside the panels and the beautiful decay, washing all the heavy weight of growing up away. Clinging to the side of a faded brick facade, a rusted iron zigzag that is beautifully flawed, built for a disaster that simply never came. Now it hangs in suspension without a proper name. I climb out the window of the empty second floor, leaving all the shadows right behind the heavy door. Stepping on the grating with the to be a rescue, a passage to the street, a path of desperation for the panic rushing feet. But the lower half is missing, completely ripped away, leaving me suspended in the middle of the gray. Trapped upon a fire escape, hanging in the void, an emergency exit completely destroyed. It cuts off 10 feet high above the concrete ground. This solitary platform where the lost are never found, going nowhere fast on a stairway made of rust. Breathing in the heavy and the melancholic dust. The architecture of a promise broken in the dark, leaving a permanent and isolated mark. I sit upon the landing with my legs over the edge, a solitary gargoyle on a heavy iron ledge. Down below the alley is a river of debris, a beautiful wasteland for nobody else to see. A structure shivers slightly in the midnight urban breeze, a mechanical giant falling slowly to its knees. It perfectly reflects the current state of my mind, an escape route from the heavy things I left behind. But it doesn't really lead to a brand new starting line, just a stagnant equilibrium of a terrible design. We build these safety measures just to quiet down our fears, a metal barricade against the tragedy and tears. But sometimes the salvation is a dead-end street, a visual illusion where the sky and pavement meet. I accept the limitation of the broken iron stair, finding the profound comfort breathing in the upper air. No need to hit the ground, no need to run away, just hovering in silence until the break of day. Trapped upon a fire escape, hanging in the void, an emergency exit completely destroyed. It cuts off 10 feet high above the concrete ground, a solitary platform where the lost are never found, going nowhere fast on a stairway made of rust. Breathing in the heavy and the melancholic dust. The architecture of a promise broken in the dark, leaving a permanent and isolated mark. Isolated mark. The heavy clouds are breaking, letting strips of silver through, painting all the canopy in a deeply washed out blue. I find my favorite wooden bench soaked into the bone, sitting on the heavy slats completely on my own. The chaos of the thunder is a memory in the sky. The frantic winds have settled down and slowly pass me by. Droplets falling gently from the branches overhead, washing out the heavy words that the angry weather said. saturated, vibrant, deep and clean. A quiet resurrection in the middle of the green. I close my eyes and take a very slow and heavy breath, inhaling the revival, pulling back from sudden death. The scent of broken ozone and the heavy soaking dirt, a natural anesthetic for an underlying hurt.
Breathing in the petrichor upon the lonely sea, where the rhythm of the weather and the silent forest meet. The storm has left a heavy piece behind its violent wake, a beautiful stillness that the thunder couldn't break. Sitting in the aftermath, grounded in the mud, listening to the heavy bass flowing through my blood. The park is completely empty, baptized by the rain, washing away the static and the heavy urban pain.
A massive puddle rests beside my heavy soaked shoes, reflecting all the pieces of the clearing afternoon. The broken branches lying in the middle of the path, a physical reminder of the heavy sudden wrath. But the birds are slowly waking up and testing out the air, shaking off the water from the feathers without care. There is a perfect order in the middle of the mess, a solitary moment that completely heals the stress. The chillphonk beat is echoing the dripping of the pine, proving that the universe is working by design. We spend so much time running from the heavy pouring rain, seeking out a shelter from the temporary strain. But staying for the aftermath is where the magic lies, underneath the open in the slowly clearing skies. The wood beneath my hands is cold and comfortably exact, a sanctuary built upon a silent natural plaque. The water hits the concrete with a satisfying sound as the silence of the city gently rises from the ground.
Breathing in the petrichor upon the lonely sea, where the rhythm of the weather and the silent forest meet. The storm has left a heavy piece behind its violent wake, a beautiful stillness that the thunder couldn't break. Sitting in the aftermath, grounded in the mud, listening to the heavy bass flowing through my blood. The park is completely empty, baptized by the rain, washing away the static and the heavy urban pain.
The beige plastic tower resting heavy on the floor, a portal to a universe behind a hidden door. The house is completely silent, everybody is asleep, but I am diving down into the digital deep. The mechanical keyboard clicks with a heavy hollow sound, typing out commands while my feet are on the ground. The seek prompt is flashing with an amber steady blink, a solitary anchor standing right upon the brink. No graphics to distract me, just a heavy wall of code, walking down the center of an electronic road. The telephone line opens with a sudden sharp hiss, a chaotic symphony crossing over the abyss. The screaming of the modem as the handshake finds a hold, connecting to the matrix out in the bitter cold.
The hum of the processor cooling in the dark, leaving an invisible electronic mark, surfing through the threads
never quite alone. Trapped inside the glow of a heavily pixelated screen, a ghost inside the wire of a primitive machine. The heavy chill funk rhythm aligns with the dial tone,
Building up a world that is entirely my own.
lines are glowing, data scrolling slowly out of sight. Reading conversations in the middle of the night. An alias, a handle, just a signature of text. Waiting for the server to show me what is next. The hard drive is clicking with the heavy rhythmic beat. A digital percussion matching the empty silent street. An image loading slowly line by heavy horizontal line. Building up a visual of an intimate design. A tribe of heavy insomniacs typing in the void, creating a reality that cannot be destroyed.
Physical reality is just a heavy shell. When you are exploring in this electronic well, the world is disconnected but the network is alive. A subterranean culture where the night owls survive. I listen to the fan exhaust, the heat into the room, defeating the isolation in the heavy midnight gloom. A glowing green oasis in a desert made of sleep. A beautiful connection that I will forever keep. The hum of the processor cooling in the dark, leaving an invisible electronic mark. Surfing through the threads of a heavy bulletin board. A sanctuary where the lonely voices are restored.
The 48.6 is buzzing with a steady, quiet drone, proving that a wanderer is never quite alone. Trapped inside the glow of a heavily pixelated screen, a ghost inside the wire of a primitive machine. The heavy chill funk rhythm aligns with the